Hey everyone, and welcome to Stock Talk on December 2nd. Now, before we get started, I want to thank everyone for watching these Stock Talks and coming on to learn about something about broad market movement commodities. Just want to thank everyone for doing so, and we've gotten over the 1,000 subscriber mark. So, and I've told everyone in the past, right? Without your support, this channel is really nothing. I can talk about anything I want, but it's really you guys watching these videos and really making it possible. So thank you for that. Keep it coming, and we got a lot to talk about for SPY, the S&P 500, on the yearly chart and broad market movement. Now, I know everyone should be focused, in my opinion, on the G20, right? The G20 is actually this weekend. So we're expecting volatile movement, whether it's to the upside or downside, with the upside slightly more likely, in my opinion, this week. So pay close attention to the futures tonight once it opens, because it will be volatile one way or another. Now, if you remember back on Friday when we closed, what happened on SPY on Friday? So here's SPY. What happened? Well, it was obviously a green candle, but it wasn't a green candle for the majority of the day. It was pretty much moving back and forth, right? And you can imagine it was uncertain at that point. The indices were in the negative, then it slightly moved to the positive, until when? It was really the last few hours in which we had that massive push to the upside. Why did we have that push? You can imagine. It's anticipation of what? G20, possibly positive results, right? So we've been talking about in the SPY charts in the last Stock Talk, which was a couple days back, how we were on an uptrend. The theme of the week last week was continuation. Do you remember that? Refer to my Monday video if you don't remember that. But the theme of the week was continuation. Did we get continuation? The answer is a big, resounding yes. So for people in the Discord chat, in our group, in our chat group, great job, right? We were looking for continuation. We got what we got. Sometimes it doesn't work out perfectly, but it was nice. So why was it a continuation? So you can see here, we bottomed out was on Black Friday, actually, with a really low volume. But for 6 consecutive days, we had green candles. Now, that doesn't mean that we went up every day, but you can see that during intraday trading, we pushed higher. That is positive, obviously, for the markets. And where is SPY getting gravitated towards? Well, we've talked about this as well in past Stock Talks, which is 280 to 281. That is my resistance level. Now, the thing about this is, you can imagine we're still not there yet, right? We've got the G20 that's going to be factored into the markets in the futures later tonight. So we can certainly possibly gap higher, and by tomorrow we could be moving higher towards the 280, 281 rather quickly. But that's my first target right now. Now let's talk about downside action, because I like to talk both sides. While I see this less likely, here's the downside scenario. If we do go down, I need the 268, 269 level to hold as support. This support level, if this is broken, look for this one to sell off more, in my opinion. Below, so we've got a near-term support at around 263. That's not going to hold if that moves lower, in my opinion. And then we would look towards the box zone. So the box zone, you can see, came from the past few months low, which was around 260. Now, we could come down to the 260 level if we push lower, but when we get to that level, we'll have to get to evaluate how we get to that level, because by then we could have lower prices coming. But for now, the trend is continuation. The theme of this week is going to be much of the same. I'm looking for a push to 280 to 281. Until we get to that level, the theme will be continuation. Question, can it go to the side or go down a little bit before another push higher? It can, but you can see one of the big focuses is G20, and because it's this weekend, we probably won't be going to the side that much. So that's the S&P 500 yearly chart. Now, let's take a look at volatility, TVIX. Same thing, yearly chart, and we've talked about volatility because we said that volatility was on a downtrend, and if volatility moves lower, we expect what? The broad markets to be pushing higher. So you can see volatility sold off, right? And I left, I believe, on this day, which was 11/28, the last stock talk, I said, look at this. We've had the 50-period moving average acting as support in the past, and that we can certainly have a small bounce, but does the downtrend have to break if there's a bounce in volatility? The answer is no. So we did have the bounce. You can see we bounced off the 50, but then we sold off and now we are below the 50. So in my opinion, look for this one to push even lower coming in the next few days. And if volatility is pushing lower, obviously broad markets are likely to push higher. So I'm looking for continuation of this moving lower for now until we see something otherwise. Okay, so, everyone, if you enjoy these videos, like I said, please hit the thumbs up button. Highly appreciate it. And, you can show your support. And that's one way you can show your support is just to hit the thumbs up button. And that's all there is. Thank you so much. And if you didn't like it, hope you like it in the future or hope it benefits you in the future. But no harm, no foul if you don't like it. So, all right, crude oil. So here's crude oil on the yearly chart. So you can see I have a couple of support lines. You're like, Kevin, are these lines everywhere? I really don't have that many lines. The reason I don't have that many lines on my chart is because I like to find significant levels. When crude oil is declining so much, right, I want significant support levels, not lines all over the place showing I've support at 54, then 52, then 50. Right? Then support levels don't matter too much. So you can see I have support levels here that got broken on this red candle. So I said, okay, that's no good for crude oil. And I have a next support zone, I want to call this a zone, from around $49 to around $47. Now, these lines stem from months prior, long time ago, and these are significant support levels. Now you can see we got very close to that support level. So in my opinion, crude oil has a potential to bounce, but we'll have to see a follow-through. Crude oil so far is holding the support. Now, I know a lot of you are wondering, Kevin, what's going on here? Because isn't this likely to push to the downside? What is crude oil doing? Can it consolidate to the right before a next push lower? It could, and that's why I have a support zone in this case over here. But at the same time, it could push higher because we're nearing the support area. My point here being is we're close to support, and therefore you can imagine we are looking for some sort of bounce at this point. It might not occur, but we're close to that area. That's all that matters. So there's crude oil, and there you go. Natural gas. So for 4/NG or natural gas, we've finished the month. Remember in past videos, what did I say about natural gas in past videos? I said that natural gas, here's the 20-year monthly chart, I said that natural gas is by no means going to give us a tail candle by the end of the month, just based off of previous patterns. It's never given us in the past when we've broken out. And here, we ended the month. This candle cannot be moved. It's done. And do we see a reversal candle on natural gas? Of course not. Has it happened in the past? No. Are we going to get it? No. So natural gas looks pretty solid. Now the big question here is natural gas going to reverse off of the resistance zone level? The resistance level is 4.846, right? It's there. It acted as a resistance this time around. But you can imagine we can possibly gap higher on natural gas on futures today, and it can actually push higher. Now, my point here being is we won't really know for certain until we get a little more days coming in the next few days and seeing that if we can push over that resistance level. But if we can push over this resistance level, then look for 5.739 as the next resistance, which is another quite astounding move if that could occur for natural gas, if it pushes higher. Now, if it's unable to cross the resistance, look for this one to reverse more, right? Especially on a monthly basis to reverse back to the downside. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one. It's getting interesting in terms of a possible shorting opportunity, but right now, in my opinion, it is still pretty risky given how we're situated right near the resistance at the end of the month. So that's for everyone right now. Okay. Finally, 4/GC or gold futures. You can see gold futures. We talked about this many times in the past, right? How it hasn't done that much and how it could possibly continue on just horizontally until when? Until next year, right? So we could get that pop next year. So pop over where? The 1241, 1242 resistance, which we haven't done so this year yet. So this is really slow moving. I would look for this one. This is bullish on the long term, but the problem here is time. It might take a lot of time for this to develop. And you're like, Kevin, why is it going to take a lot of time? Well, first of all, you can see, how did we break over this resistance level, 1211, right? It took a lot of time to do so. And what's happening right now? It's taking a lot of time to break through the next resistance level. So, in my opinion, there's not much you can do with the gold chart, so that analysis hasn't changed for a long time. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of your tickers. Once again, we'll start with, oh, guys, if you enjoy these analysis, there's much more in-depth analysis. You get to talk with me on a daily basis during the trading day in the chat room, in the Discord chat room that we have, and it's in the course. So if you're interested in the course, interested about learning all these trends and so much more that I teach, check it out in the description box down below. All right, thanks. So we'll start with Rizwan. Let's see. It says, Kevin covered my shorts today. SFM 11% in 2 days. Took a new position, SWKS. Break it down, please. All right, Rizwan, welcome back to the channel. And congratulations on the SFM short. So SWKS. Let's take a look at that one. So SWKS. So the thing about this is it's downtrending, right? And you can see for a lot of stocks right now, it is downtrending. But you just want to be careful a little bit because while this one has the ability to push slightly higher, look for the 20-period moving average as a resistance. As a matter of fact, 73.29 is a pretty strong resistance. So you can imagine this one's curving down, right? And we're getting near that near term, the very near term resistance. Just be a little careful because it could drop on us. But that, of course, you got to correlate this with possibly like broad markets and whatnot. But yeah, this is a pretty big move to the downside. Let's take a look at a longer term chart. So yeah, longer term chart shows that we certainly could have the ability to move higher. But if we focus on the more near term, I think first line is around 73.24, and then after that, we don't have as much resistance level. So let's see if we can push over that before possibly more upside to come. Now, where's the next resistance? If we do push above, look for the 50-period moving average, which has been sloping down as a resistance, right? So there you go. This one has some upside potential. Just be cautious. In my opinion, I would personally put a stop loss on this one. Okay. Hey, Kevin, can I take a look at CVS, long on SD? So CVS. Okay. So here's the deal with CVS, right? From what you can see here, it's rather sporadic. And the reason is, while it can go down significantly, it can move up just as fast, right? And then it goes down and then moves. So it's rather sporadic, but if we take a look at where we are situated right now, we can easily say, what? Where are we situated? We're in the upper, like, 10 percentile, quartile, right? We're in the upper range. So the question here is, if you went in a long position right now, what is your risk versus your reward at this period of point in time? What do you think? So I think there are better entry areas, in my opinion, if you're patient enough. But this one is nearing resistance, so be careful on this. All right, behind the bid, congratulations on subscriber 999. Yeah, we got over that mark, so thank you for taking a look. All right, and we will do one more ticker, and it'll just be random from Juan. Let's do here, which is Turtle Beach, HEAR. So let's take a look at this here. So This has been on a downtrend. And so why is this on a downtrend? So here's the deal with this, right? You can see that it's been lower, 20 period resistance, 50 period resistance. Now here, you can see before earnings, and on earnings, we popped above, but look at the reaction afterwards, the massive sell-off, and it's just been down ever since. So look for this one to push lower. Once again, 50 acting as resistance. Nothing has changed for this one, right? It keeps going lower. Look for this one to push lower. Look at this gap fill area over here. Could we be gravitated towards that level? Possibly. So look for this one to push lower in the future. In the meantime, thank you everyone for watching this video. Hopefully you found it beneficial. Leave a like if you have not, and of course I will see everyone during the weekday. In the meantime, keep an eye on the futures tonight, and of course, happy trading. Thanks everyone.